Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. And for those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. They mean the world to me. If you're interested in subscribing to the channel and supporting it in that way, you can go to patreon.com and look up Engelgeist and choose a subscription level. Over there, there's all sorts of, you get the daily forecast early, a day early. And there's also other perks over there, different readings and stuff available only over on Patreon every month, depending on the level that you choose. This is a broad spectrum reading, and it's a daily forecast for everybody intended, it's intended to reach everybody who views it, right? Therefore, it's broad spectrum in the sense that I speak in broader tones. You have to figure out where it fits in your world and how to best use it. It is originally created for Thursday, January 7th, but it is a timeless message because it's broad spectrum for the greater collective, for the highest good. So when it reaches you is when it's supposed to. If you're watching it on a date that's not the 7th, that's fine. It just means that you're ready to see it at whatever time you're seeing it. For those of you that are watching it on the 7th and maybe it doesn't really work for you, it doesn't resonate, you can't place it in your life, doesn't mean anything's wrong or bad. It just means you might be working on something different than the majority of people that may watch this video. You just have to kind of trust that Spirit knows what it's doing and you might be working on something else. If it does resonate or it makes sense and you can apply it to your life, know that with any of my videos, if you make any decisions in your life after having watched any of my videos, those decisions are solely your responsibility. So keep that in mind. Always use your highest intelligence and intuition when making those decisions, and never take anything that I say over that of a professional in their field, i.e. a lawyer, a doctor, a therapist. Always listen to them first and foremost, and then your own intelligence and intuition when making your decisions. My readings are here to sort of, support and validate what you may already know and give you inspiration, but they're not here to make the decision for you. So I just need to state that so for clarity's sake. So let's get into the cards and see what's going on. For those of you that are new, you'll hear me reference a lot of different other cards that have come up this week. Those energies are still at play and coupled with this reading. So if you want to watch the reading that I'm referencing back to, which would be earlier in the week, that will show up at the end of the video down in the I believe the left-hand corner. Yeah, so it'll make more sense maybe if you hear me referencing cards you don't see. All right, so let's see what the cards want us to know today. So our card for the day, we got the Four of Pentacles. All right, so I don't mind him. I'm going to say this because we have that Knight of Pentacles in the midweek and we're at Wednesday, Thursday, which usually this is midweek energy to me. We also had the Hermit yesterday and we saw the Hermit on Sunday, right? So we have a lot of earthy energy going on, a lot of planning, a lot of, this Four of Pentacles to me looks like we might be planning for the year ahead, like financially, how do we want things to look? What do we want our world to be like? There is a sort of stinginess with the Four of Pentacles. Not to say that we're being stingy, but we might be being a little bit resistant or worried about the changes ahead for the year. We're trying to be practical. To me, I get this sense of practicality from this Four of Pentacles. That dovetails nicely with the underpinning energy of the Knight of Pentacles, because right now we should be feeling that slow, steady gait of the Knight coming through. Remember, Knights are always of service. They're very loyal. We're trying to do the best thing that we know how for ourselves and stay dedicated to that, stay on track with that. The Four of Pentacles is going to assist with that. Fours to me always bring in this air of sort of stability. I think of four legs on a table. So it's always about kind of stabilizing our situation. For some of us, this will be as our material situation. Not even for some of us, for all of us, the focus is on the material or how we want if it's not the full year, it's the next maybe few weeks or months to play out for us, right? So we're putting into place maybe plans for what it is we desire, what it is we want, and hopefully with an air of practicality, right? That would be the Pentacles energy that we're seeing here, an air of groundedness. The only thing is with this guy, I feel like there's a little bit of resistance, like we might be trying to hold on a little bit too tightly to what we already have in fear that, you know, we may not have enough. And so we want to be aware of that energy, especially with the slowness of the Knight of Pentacles. He will help to take us where we need to go, albeit slowly, but that might also be what's producing this Four of Pentacles kind of, do I have enough, is this feeling, or the question that I feel like that's coming off of this card is like, how do I make more without losing what I have? And I want us to be aware of that. Now, for some of us, that will be material, but we might be thinking about this sort of stuff in our relationships, or, you know, like maybe these feelings, these thoughts are coming up around situations with people or whatever. It's going to be okay, and we will be level-headed. We'll move forward sort of you know, carefully, with honor. That's kind of the feeling that I get with this Four and the Knight that would be underpinning this. But we need to also have faith too, that as we move forward, we're going to do the right thing for the right reason. Now let's look at the clarifiers. Remember too, we also have that Strength stone. We're also heading in, now that we're in Thursday, we'll be heading into Friday, which should be the Strength card, right? We saw that Strength card coming in too. So this would be that, to me, this indicates sort of the building of or the setting of the foundation of that, right? If that makes sense. Oh shit. All right, that's not a bad thing, guys. It just really feels like the cards are driving home, like, this is what you need to know. So what I want to say is that the key to this Four of Pentacles, to me, what I'm feeling for this Four of Pentacles, and especially with it clarifying, is it's trying to tell me, what areas do we not have faith in? What areas are we fearful in? What areas are we holding on tightly from a space or a mindset of lack, a feeling of lack? Sorry, they're working on the building outside. Not, they're drilling or something. So where are we vibrating in that feeling of, I gotta hold on to everything I have, 2020 was a rough year, I can't, you know, maybe trust this, or I've got to be careful about how I move through that. And there's nothing wrong with being careful, there's nothing wrong with being well planned out, but we also, I think this is sort of the depth that we saw seeing the Hermit's energy. It's like going deep and seeking out the darker, not the darker spots of ourselves, but the more underused or unknown parts of ourselves, right? And there might be fears that lay underneath us, or worries, anxieties. Things are not bad with this Four of Pentacles, but they may not be as good as we would like them to be. And we're wanting to take steps forward to changing that, but we're kind of maybe a little bit distrustful. The funny thing is I'm feeling like after 2020, this is the phrase that's going through my head, after the 2020 that most of us have had, we probably feel like an abused child in a way. And I know that's a really weird sort of graphic kind of feeling, but it's like, I think some of us in our psyches are like, okay, can I trust 2021? Like, what are you going to bring me? Because 2020 was such a shit show. So this Four of Pentacles would make sense. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's like a, you know, I want to say it's cautiously optimistic, but we want to make sure we're leaning more towards the side of optimism and creation than that of caution and worry or anxiety. We want to not be holding on too tightly. Does that make sense? So let's go to the next clarifier. Beautiful. This is us not holding on too tightly. This is the Queen of Pentacles. Now the Queen is that Cups energy that we saw. We had that Two of Cups ending with an Ace of Cups earlier this week. Queens represent cups, pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, right? She's the emotions of the material wealth, right? Or the creation of material wealth. Blending the two together to sort of make this abundance happen, to sort of bring ourselves forward, to trust what we've got going on the inside. And again, that is that Hermit's energy that we've been working with in the early part of this week. We need to delve into how we feel about things and then go about creating from that place. The Queen of Pentacles is the, you know, next to the Empress, in my opinion, she is the most fertile Myrtle in the deck, right? She wants to create and give you everything that you need in an abundant way that is sustaining and nourishing in a way, right? She represents fertility with that rabbit in the bottom corner of the card. She represents, there's all of these growth, and with the flowers in this wreath above her head. She's loving, and she's in touch. She's ready to face things from a place of like a grounded spirit, right? And she's open, though, with that cups energy being the queen. She is like mothering and dedicated in a way that is beautiful, right? She's nurturing. So we want to bring her in, or she's kind of hovering in there. So let's bring her in. And then we've got the moon. Now, the moon is major arcana, so that's going to be a little bit of a big card to deal with. To me, I feel like the moon sort of represents in a couple of different places for us. I feel like this moon is some of that work that we were seeing this week with the Hermit, where we need to go in and listen to the more deeper, subtle, subconscious self. Sometimes the moon throws us signals that are hard to read or understand because it's a little bit darker, a little bit dimmer, and the path might be a little bit more crooked. But ultimately, and the moon greatly affects us, right? So our subconscious and what our desires are trying to come through. I feel like they're trying to come through to maybe show us where we're holding on too tightly, where our fears and anxieties might be pulling at us or limiting us in a way. I feel like this Four of Pentacles and this Queen of Pentacles might be not necessarily at odds, but we go in and out of feeling like we can create more and desire more, but we're maybe fearful that what we have will lose in the process, right? And that's kind of the back and forth. And the moon always, it takes me to this place of how it affects the tides, the push and pull of the tides. And to me, I feel like a push and pull between the Four of Pentacles versus the Queen of Pentacles. We also saw yesterday's goal card, kind of the end of the run, was that 10 of Pentacles. There is this focus on, 2021 and our, like the building, maybe putting our world back, right? Our day-to-day environment back. Getting back, the vaccine is rolling out. Some of us might be getting back to like a little bit more normalcy, but what is that going to look like, and how are we going to produce whatever it is that we want within this new world? Does that make sense? And so I think that the signals from the moon might be a little bit clouded, a little bit murky, a little bit unclear. But if we sort of still continue to connect to that Hermit energy, he takes us to the moon and helps us to sort of decipher it, if that makes sense. The moon will also be associated with Cancer energy, Cancerian energy, and Pisces energy, which are both very emotive, very psychic, very intuitive. It's going to be those deeper parts of yourself that are going to be affected. You might feel slightly emotional, but I feel like with these Pentacles energies that are in front of it, your emotions will not overtake you, but you need to sort of remain strong and focused, right? And again, strong is that word for the week on the grounding stone, is that strength, where there's this understanding that I feel like that's taking place, where we're getting to know ourselves in a deeper, better way that is sort of setting the tone for 2021 as we move through it. I hope that's how you guys are looking at it and what's going on for you. All right, so let's go to the grounding stone. And the grounding stone is on obsidian, which wards off any negativity that might be produced or confusion that might be produced by the moon, and it's enjoy. So we want to remember to enjoy, like grounding in the joy of the creation of whatever it is that we're working on, grounding in the enjoyment of creating this strength, or this awareness of strength and who we are, the culmination of our experiences, enjoying the fact that we've made it to 2021 and that we deserve everything that we can, like reflect upon, everything that makes us feel good, all of that sort of stuff. We want to like sort of go after it wholeheartedly today and think about, okay, how do we get it? And yes, there are limitations. That's the moon's energy. I feel like we have self-imposed limitations within this Four of Pentacles, where we're worried and we're fearful. We're also getting cross signals from ourselves, maybe internally, about like sort of how the world is working right now. Maybe our resources are somewhat limited, or our options are somewhat limited for making effective change right now. We have to kind of, my feeling is we need to use this Queen of Pentacles to kind of connect our emotions to our ability to take sort of grounded action. And enjoy this process as we work our way through it. Remember too, underneath this is that Knight of Pentacles. So this is not to move like quickly. This is to listen to the signs and the signals from our emotions, from our subconscious, and sort of almost marry them to our outside environment, right? Into the creation of something new for our outside environment. I really do think that something positive is coming out of this week. So for those of you that might feel like you're struggling or you don't necessarily know which way to go, that's this moon's energy. But like, have faith, stay grounded, dwell in possibility, dwell in the better good feelings. That's also the enjoy stone, right? And that's the Queen of Pentacles, where that material meets emotions. We want that to like kind of come into a place of providing, knowing that we deserve the things that make us feel good, right? And to stay sort of in those feelings of what sustains us or what feeds us, what nourishes us, and going after that, even if the world is a little bit, or our environment is a little bit confusing at this time still, right? Or it's unclear, right? How and where things are going to play out, or how quickly things are going to change. You know, I don't even know if back to normal is a possibility, but it will, you know, remember to stop and smell the flowers, so to speak, and enjoy this process, because I feel like there is a strength and a stability that's coming out of all of this ultimately in the end. All right, that is your forecast, you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you like the forecast. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. And follow if you feel so inclined. Take care. Bye-bye.